Welcome back, YouTubers, to another ROH wrestling review with us, the British Fist.
Good
British Fist.
ROH.
British Fist.
Yeah, you get the point there.
You get the point. Subscribe up above. Like this video. Get your comments on ROH wrestling if indeed you saw this episode down in our comment section below.
Make sure you contact us in the link in the description box below.
As he said. So we begin this week's episode with, no, not some British Fist ROH chants. I wish. We get a recap of the first ever Proving Ground match between Cedric Alexander, Caprice Coleman, and the World's Greatest Tag Team. Worst main event we've had on the TV show so far, do you think?
For the World's Greatest Tag Team, yes, indeed.
Yes, at least it did give some hype to the pay-per-view. That's what saved that segment, in my opinion. That all happened last week, but let's move on to this week. We started off this week with one of the most controversial teams in ROH history, which were...
the World's Greatest Tag Team!
No.
Who?
They didn't really tell us, did they?
No.
One of the most controversial teams... Why? I don't get this. Why are Young Bucks one of the most controversial teams in ROH history? It's like, they expect us to know as new fans. It's like, okay, the thing they went against the Young Bucks. They didn't... The thing I didn't like the fact they didn't give any interview segments to the Young Bucks. We haven't really seen them on TV yet, and we kind of didn't really know too much about them. I'd like at least like a minute interview segment maybe with them. We've already seen the Bravados.
That was kind of what I was going to say, because in the past ROH shows, they've always had, before every match, or majority of the matches, there's been a little segment at the beginning. So going straight into the match in this one, I kind of thought, okay, you really want us to know who these two teams are, want us to get behind them, but you didn't give us a video package to explain or anything. So I think it was a bit of a downfall there.
So as an example to ROH as to how you do one of these video packages before, let's just do an example one then, Jay. We're coming on here to YouTube to make a statement, to talk wrestling. This is exactly what we're going to be doing. Isn't that right, NJ?
Yes, we can talk about wrestling, we can talk from the different tag teams and the different things that are going in ROH and in TNA.
And TNA and ROH and WWE, all three other companies. That is how you do an interview segment on ROH, boys, as quick in a YouTube sense. The Young Bucks versus the Bravados. It looks like they're trying to make Bravados face, and in the same, they make Young Bucks heel. But it was very obvious. The crowd were a little bit confused in this match, weren't they? I didn't have a problem with the match. It's just the way the match was presented kind of made it a little bit confusing for the fans who kind of want to cheer Young Bucks because they're new to ROH, but at the same time want to boo Bravados because they've been heel for so damn long.
This match was okay, but I was more behind the Young Bucks just because I thought they were working better together than the smart-looking ones, I think they were called at the beginning of the match.
The Bravados, Lance and Harlem. There was no code of honour by the Young Bucks at the beginning or the end, which kind of like shows you they are heel. But the Young Bucks win. I guess it's good because it wasn't really the best introduction for Young Bucks. So they didn't really get much interview segment time or anything, but at least they got the win, a strong match, and you know, although the crowd was a little bit confused as to what, was going on, it still was a decent match. I've got to give it that. I enjoyed this match. I was surprised it only got 6 damn minutes, to be honest, because I was enjoying the action.
I think it was an okay opener. It didn't really get us going, because obviously there was no video package to begin with. The match itself was okay. Yeah,
but there's just like little story behind the match, I guess. That's probably why we couldn't get behind it. At least have an interview segment to see why they're facing off or something. I don't know. But yeah, decent, like as NJ said, decent opener. So maybe we'll see more from these guys. Who knows? We then get a World's Greatest Tag Team in-ring segments. We get Kevin Kelly talking to the World's Greatest Tag Team. He does all these interview segments now along with Jim Cornette. The World's Greatest Tag Team talk about their best in the world attack by the Briscoes. They're basically trying to hype up their match at Final Battle until the All Night Express interrupt.
Yeah, I was kind of enjoying the World's Greatest Tag Team opener when they started speaking. They said that obviously we haven't forgotten what you're going to do, and we don't like you. We're going to prove that we don't like you. We're the better men, and yeah, that was good. Then obviously they came out.
All Night Express come out, talk about how they're kind of been forgotten by this whole World's Greatest Tag Team Briscoes thing. It looks to me, by the way, they did this segment like they're setting up a Proving Ground match between the two, and maybe there's going to be a triple threat tag match at Final Battle. That's just from what I've seen here. Or else why would they be doing this segment? They'll be having the Briscoes in there, wouldn't they?
Yeah, well, at the minute, all I've seen is 2-on-2. So maybe a triple threat tag team would be good to see because that's more teams going. A bit more of an exciting match, I think.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a shame we didn't see Briscoes, but if it's setting up a Proving Ground match between the two, I don't really mind the segment.
Yeah, you had them speaking about the Briscoes and that. I would expect them to come out or had something else to say, or maybe a video package, but we didn't really get anything to do with them, so I thought that was a bit of a letdown.
It was nice and short though, 3.5 minutes in-ring segment. It's pretty good time for an ROH in-ring segment. I don't mind that too much.
Yeah.
But speaking about short, this next thing wasn't very short. And we're probably going to have different opinions on this, but we'll go into it. We have an inside ROH segment. We have a real long recap of Steen, like some stuff that Kevin Steen has done. As we know, Kevin Steen is going to be making this return to a Final Battle at some point. We see this whole thing with his feud with Carino, whole feud with El Generico even from 2010, feud of the year, by the way. Carino's involvement in the feud. We get Steen's appearances on the previous pay-per-views. I did feel while it was effective as showing Steen's history, because the people watching the TV show need to know Steen's history. It was a little bit long, but I didn't mind it because it was Kevin fucking Steen for the win. Kill Steen, kill motherfuckers.
What I'll say is that as much as it did show us the importance of what he's been through and the whole story behind him, the thing that took me away from it, it was long. I'm thinking, cool. We said this last week. Another match could have been here, but then again, it was good to see this video package, but I just think it was a bit long for my liking.
Another match could have been done. I do agree with you. I mean, ROH have done this a lot recently. They've had a lot of filler in their shows, well, potentially filler, when they could have probably had a third match, maybe an enhancement match or something, maybe get Tommaso Ciampa on there or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, I think we've had Steen segments 2 weeks in a row, and I'm glad ROH are making a big deal out of him because he is a big deal for ROH. He's one of those guys that's really going to stand out in ROH as he's a controversial character, whereas everyone else is just like a boring, typical ROH type kind of wrestler. So I don't mind him getting so much TV space, but I do think they could dedicate maybe take other bits out of the show that we don't need and make it into a third match. I do think that would make their TV shows flow a lot better, don't you?
So far, I was getting into this ROH show, and then this video package. Some of it I like to see, but then again, they could have cut it down.
Yeah. Now we've seen 2 segments of Kevin Steen. I want to see some in-ring segments between. I want to see some in-ring segments. I kind of feel this is leading to Steen and Carino maybe at Final Battle, just because them two are involved in the promo. It does look like they're going to do something at Final Battle with Kevin Steen. Thank God, because he needs to be at Final Battle. That boy does.
As long as this video package leads to something, I guess I could look back and think, okay, that was a fine. But for now, I think it's just too long and just filling up too much time.
3 matches we want. ROH, give us 3 matches. The one time we reviewed it and you give us 3 matches, we enjoyed the show a hell of a lot more because it flew a lot better. I'm just saying. We also had some more canned segments between Bennett and Lethal. This will lead to a rematch of Final Battle, I imagine. Just the way they're doing it and the way they're going around it. Bennett talks about, the referee being stupid. I don't want Todd Sinclair to be refereeing. That was some funny shit. But again, it didn't last too long, but added on to that kind of long segment, it did seem a bit longer, but it does look like that's what they're going to be doing. Let's hope they can do some in-ring stuff between the two before Final Battle comes around.
Their in-ring time would be important because as much as the wrestling's good that we like, building up in the ring or backstage, whenever, just build up more would be good.
Yeah, okay then. So we then get, after this ROH segment, we then get Carino getting on the mic talking about he's got a solution to the problem. I think this is something to do with him and Steen at Final Battle. So in future weeks, we're going to see some kind of in-ring segment, I imagine, with Carino and Cornette, to something to do with Steen. I think that'll be good. Returning Kevin Steen to the ring finally on TV.
The biggest way they can make his comeback, the better, I think.
Yeah.
So if they are going to be in-ring segments or whatever's going to happen in the next few weeks, go for it.
Yeah, we then get a quick recap as to why this next tag team match is happening in the House of Truth versus American Wolves. This wasn't too long. Usually they make them a lot longer, but I didn't think this one was too long. They only really had one. The segment 2 weeks ago hyping this up between the two when you had the match between O'Reilly and Strong and the whole House of Truth and then American Wolves coming in. So that's reminding us, I imagine. Then we get the actual match itself. The House of Truth, Strong and Elgin versus American Wolves, Eddie Edwards and Richards. The 2 guys facing off at Final Battle, reuniting their former tag team. What did you think of this match, MJ?
This match was match of the night. There was great moves, great chemistry between all of them, I thought. None of them looked too weak. It was all nicely done. I really enjoyed it from the start to finish.
Got a lot of time, didn't it?
A lot of time. That was good.
I think this kind of made up for the sort of lack of wrestling at the beginning. It did get like 15, 16 minutes. I thought it was a really good tag match. And Michael Elgin, fucking hell, he's got power, that boy, isn't he? I really want to see Michael Elgin at best in the world. Not best in the world. We did see him as best in the world. I mean, I really want to see him at Final Battle in some way or form. However you can get him at Final Battle, do it, because I love Michael Elgin.
We'd have to see him in this match. I would like to see that too.
Yeah. We get Davey Richards gets the win after Edwards uses a new submission move. I think it was the Dragon Sleeper. Something to do with his new trainer, which I think they've announced over Twitter, which is a bit stupid. I think they should have used it on the TV show to kind of hype their feud a little bit. I don't know. Basically, that knocks Elgin out, and Davey Richards gets the win. So it's kind of... I would like to see more tease between Richards and Edwards, but I guess I'm happy with this, as long as they tease it in future episodes, maybe slowly.
The way they finished this off, it was nicely done. I can't really complain, because both teams looked strong. It looked good. Great moves, like I've said in the past. ROH are good at having good moves in their matches. So, again, that was good. And as long as Dan said there's something future to come of them, I can't complain about it.
We had 2 tag team matches on this show. That reminiscent of the first episode we had, wasn't it? I do enjoy tag team. I do enjoy ROH's tag team matches. I just wish they'd have like a singles match and a tag match rather than 2 tag matches. Like split the tag and singles up a little bit, just a bit more variation in the show.
Well, the way I would have done it is keep tag at the beginning, a single match in the middle, instead of filler, and then this tag match. That's how I would do it.
Probably would have worked. That would have worked indeed, wouldn't it? But yeah, so I still think ROH can take out some of their filler. I mean, I did like the Kevin Steen stuff. I think it could have been done a little bit shorter, but they could take out some filler and put in a third match. I mean, we've been saying this a long time now, but there was not as much filler as last week. Last week was major filler. Not just the inside ROH segment, but also like some of the stuff between the matches was really long, like the Edwards shit. I'm glad they got rid of that, to be honest.
That's true. I agree.
What are your overall thoughts on the show then this week?
It was a good week. I think all I can really play is the between the match filler. The only thing I can play, the matches, decent moves, entertaining. So I say it was overall a good show.
The opener was good, even though it wasn't the best way of introducing the Young Bucks. I really did enjoy the main event. Hopefully this is going to lead. I mean, Edwards and Richards have got a match at the pay-per-view, so I guess it kind of did its job there. Gets them on TV in the fucking ring. The in-ring segment with the World's Greatest Tag Team, I thought it was decent. I do think they should do more of these in-ring segments, especially if you're going to hype something up for weeks coming. Make them 3.5 minutes like they did there. That was fine. The Inside RX segment, while long, I didn't mind too much because it showed Kevin Steen for the second week in a row. It's a nice concentration on storyline there as to when they're going to be bringing him back. So to me, the show was okay to good. If I was going to grade it, I'd probably give it a C plus B minus or something. I thought it was. I thought the matches. The main event was very strong. The first match I did like, even though it was too short. But again, there is still a lot of that ROH can do with their TV show, like third match.
Well, as well as third match, like you said, I would have maybe had a third match, took some of the filler out, and added more in-ring talk or backstage interviews, something like that, just so we can get more behind the characters, wrestlers, and just storyline. But sadly, we didn't really get that much this week.
Especially in the opener, when we just got introduced to the Young Bucks and we didn't really know who they were, what they were about, or anything, because they didn't get an in-ring segment, which is disappointing, especially for a big tag team that were in TNA, like the Young Bucks, who really need a good introduction into ROH.
They do, but all I can say is hopefully come with them in the next few weeks. We get behind them better and know them better.
Yeah. And also ROH, please sort out your lighting. During a lot of the segments tonight, the lighting was getting in the way of the shots, and it was kind of annoying.
And as well as the lighting, I want to thank you for something. Thank you for not advertising your website.
Yeah, they probably did, but we probably didn't see it on our stream.
Oh, dear.
Oh, sorry to put you down there, mate. Anyway, we're rambling on now. Overall, the show was good. I enjoyed the show. You?
Yeah, very good show.
All right.
Not the best, but there we go.
Okay to good. There we go.
Yeah.
Get your thoughts in that comment section down below if you saw ROH. I know there are people out there that do see ROH. Please comment down below your thoughts, NJ.
And that has been it from the British Fist.
British Fist.
British Fist. British Fist. British Fist. And that has been it from Mr. Parkin.
Mr. Parkin. Sorry.
And me, NJ. And that has been it. Thank you very much for watching this video. Tune in for next week, and goodbye.
Goodbye.